Coach McKenna here. Great day to be Irish show. And wow, what a great day. Early in the morning, and I got Mr. Gibilisco down here. And that doesn't happen very often. Our schedules, not getting together and everything. And I'm just proud to have him on the show. Couple things about Lou is that there's a family tie here because I've known Lou's family. I knew his father-in-law very well. I knew his brother very well when I was a police officer years ago. He had a shoe shop, and we used to go in. I used to talk all the time with him and everything, and just a man's man. Yeah. I guess that's the best way to describe your brother, man's man. And then I came here, I got to know Lou, and I couldn't find a better person to work with. I'm going to let him talk about his department upstairs, the theater, all the things they do, not have me talk about it. But what a great job they do, and everything is wonderful. But I got to say one thing, Lou, to you, and I kid all the times I go to different churches and everything. I love when you guys do masses. And I always, my wife laughs at me because I use the Whoopi Goldberg, we need more, boom, boom, boom. And when you go up and Lou does a mass and the music, man, your foot's tapping, you feel good and everything. And that's what mass should be about. Yeah, and you're a big part of that. And I thank you for me because I love coming to the masses here.
Thanks,
Lou, if you could, because, just a little bit about yourself, how long you've been at Notre Dame, how'd you get at Notre Dame, and just tell everybody about Lou.
Sure. Well, first of all, Coach, thanks for having me.
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate that. It's funny, been here since 1990, and before that was at McCarston, which was TCA. We built the program over there at McCarston, and then what happened, because of a series of events, had to leave. Okay, it was time to go. And for that couple of years, I was back in my entertainment office. We had a 7-piece band, and I was part of the Grease Band a few years ago. So went in with a buddy of mine who was a part of the Grease Band, Doug Stackhouse.
Okay.
Yeah, we were partners with a entertainment agency. It was booking bands, playing, doing all that kind of stuff, raising the family, doing all that. We were living in Marsville at the time. And all of a sudden I get a call from an old friend. Her name was Mary Liz Ivins. And she goes, you're not McCarston anymore. And I went, well, you're the vice principal over at Notre Dame. Because I think she was a religion department chair.
Right.
And that's when Mary Liz got the promotion. She said, look, we kind of need somebody to fill in. I know you're doing other things, but could you fill in for us as we need kind of like a director for our show. We need somebody to direct our madrigal, but it's after school. So you don't have to worry about commitments during the day. So I figured I'll fill in for a buddy. I knew her for years and came in. I was after school. I was part-time. And the then principal, Mike Carr, and Sister Harold, you might remember that name, came up to me and said, look, we're going to be creating a position. It's going to be called the Coordinator of the Arts. We want to take all this performing arts stuff that's after school. We want to put it into the school day, make it an educationally based program. And we'd like you to apply for the job. Be an arts coordinator, you'd be the department chair, and develop our program. We liked because my first show here was Grease. They liked what I did with it. So they interviewed about 50, 75 people, went through the process, and that middle of July, I figured I didn't hear anything. So I was booking bands. I was just going on. All of a sudden, I can still remember sitting in the living room, got a phone call. It's from Mary Liz, and she's like, you got the job. You're going to be full-time. And I looked at my wife. I went, after my phone call with Mary Liz, I went, well, I think things are going to change. I think they're going to change drastically. I mean, I'm doing like a day job now. So came here, and there wasn't much here, Coach. Wasn't much here. So we were recruiting, just doing getting kids, finding out kids where they were from, what they had done in the middle schools, what they did in the grammar schools. I was pulling them out of class. You're a singer, you play an instrument, are you an actor? And just recruiting, okay? I was doing some D1 recruiting. Great. And pretty soon we had the madrigal numbers up. All of a sudden, they had asked me to they told me, they said, look, we're going to take the instrumental music off your plate. And I went, whoa. We have all these kids coming up from Pennsbury and Council Rock and Hamilton school districts, and they've had an instrument in their hands since 4th grade. So I want them to continue that. That's part of our their potential students. So we kept the band. We added a jazz band to make it even to kind of sweeten the pot. And things started to flourish. Kids started to just come into the program, the dance program. I brought my wife in for the dance program. Things start to really cook, and before you know it, all of a sudden we were really, really busy. And we've just been blessed that we just get great kids from the community who come here. A lot of things that we do upstairs, you do the same thing, Coach, because our philosophy is team up there. When I got 70 kids on that stage, I tell them, all 70, and nobody's on the bench. I got 70 starters. I need you to be your head in the game. I need you to be right there. Nobody can hide on the bench. You can't hide on the bench behind a big lineman. No, I'm pulling you out. You're out there. You got to be on. And we've had that excellence through teamwork attitude with the performing arts over these 33 years. We tell that to our band kids. We tell that with our string kids. Now, as you know, my Gigi, who was a great athlete here.
Great athlete.
Here.
And that's what the blessing is. Not only have I know Lou, I know his wife. I've trained all his kids and everything, and that's where I talk about it being a family, because and I had your son down here this year running the summer school, and working with him was a pleasure. It was a great time.
Coach. And so we've added strings to the program now. Thank God we are blessed with the fact that our numbers are solid. We're growing in areas. Madrigal's still flourishing. We concert choir. We have music theory. We have, if you want to take an instrument, Gigi's on board with class instruments so far as you can learn. Clarinet, you could learn. Trumpet, just like the public schools. If you want to do anything like that, everything that the public school makes available to you through those, because there are some great programs over there in Pensy. We're on that side of the bridge. And, we want to make sure that when those parents come to us, we can say, hey, we got the same thing we can give to you. So we've been blessed in that way, and just really, really thrilled that things are looking up for us down there, up there. That's right, you're down here, but just.
That's okay. Well, I hear you all the time up there because about 2 weeks I'll be starting to tap my foot to Christmas music. And You'll be working on that Christmas music soon.
And I hear you too, Coach, with country music coming through my
event. Right.
That's right. There you go.
Well, speaking on that, and Lou's got a great voice. When Lou sings, it is unbelievable. And there's going to be a day, because I think there's a perfect country song for Lou, and that's Ronnie Dunn's I Believe. And I'm going to get him to sing it for me one day. It may be at my funeral. Who knows, But what a great voice, and the way he ties everything together. And it's funny you talk about starting part-time, because that's how I started here.
Yeah.
Started here part-time, and then Barry Bream was the principal at the time.
Right.
And he came down and said, look, I'm tired of getting phone calls from parents because they can't have you because you're only here half the day.
Sure.
Can you start full-time? I said, sure, I'll start full-time. Because I was out of job. I got hurt in police work.
Sure.
And I love this place and everything. Now, you have a big dance thing going upstairs too, right?
Oh, yeah. The dance program is headed up by my wife. And she's after school, because she's a full-time employee there at New Jersey Manufacturers, just down the road. But she's been coming in just about from the beginning, about 2 years after I started. She came here. We have beginning dance, intermediate dance, advanced dance, and then she carries over into my show and choreographs. And, what we found, Coach, and you'll know this on the athletic side too, you can't be consistent. You can't be consistency in leadership.
Right.
When you have longevity in that, there's a safety the kids feel. They feel confident in that. They feel secure in that. And when they always know Mr. and Mrs. G are up there. And it's funny because we stay in touch with a lot of our alum. We have a page where we have about 600.
I know you do because I follow your page and everything.
Yeah. And alum, where would we be without you guys? We just thank you for being a part of us and for making us what we are today. And, that alumni group that has been just so loyal to us and supports us. They still come to shows. They'll inbox me and say, when's the next show? What are you doing this year, Mr. J? What's going on? And just a shout out to alum, because this is going to go on that page.
Right.
They're going to see that.
And that's where we're a lot alike because, my Build the Foundation is from what the kids have lifted here over the years. And I get calls. I still got kids, Freddie Rosado, who still comes in here and lifts. He lives local. I got guys that come back. I've been to weddings. Did 4 weddings this year.
Yeah.
I know you do a lot of them. And I think it's important we keep in touch with the alumni out there because let me tell you what. We got some great kids at this school.
Absolutely.
I can't tell you if we have a bad kid. We may have one that'll drive you a little crazy every once in a while. One of the things I like about your program, Lou, and I kind of look at my program and your program, and where we're like, you built the total package. It's just not about making them a good trumpet player or a good singer. You're worried about the whole package of what they're going to be when they leave the school. And that's one of the things I like and that you do and everything. One of the questions I have for you, just a little bit, if, we got somebody out there in 8th grade and everything, and I know you kind of sold the program already, but why are we different here? Why is Notre Dame's program upstairs a little different than everybody else?
There's a major difference. And I'm proud to be able to say this because I experienced with my own 3 kids who were very fortunate to go through the Pennsbury School District through middle school. But we encountered this with all of them being good athletes. Of course, you start getting calls from those coaches at the high school level, which it's a great thing, and you're excited about that. But all of a sudden, they're telling us, well, if you do this, you can't do that. Well, if you do this, you can't do that. And way back when I went to Steinert, I was a 3-letter athlete, and I was on the stage, and I was in the Madrigal, and I will never forget the attitude way back then, guys like Coach Brescia and Jake Tarr and those kind of guys who had the attitude that even back then, even though in the public school, we know that you're an athlete, but you got some talent in singing too. You got to do that too. And that's one of the biggest things that we pride ourselves on telling the athletes, come on, you need to be a Renaissance man. You need to be good in your academics. You should explore that talent. I'll never forget, every time T.I. comes back, Taekwon, he always comes up, gives me a hug. Mr. G, you made my dream come true because I put him on stage.
Right.
And we worked. I mean, that year, Coach, we had G, we had Dan Quinn, we had Ty, we had Rich. We had 4 of the 5 starters in varsity basketball in that show.
Well, I'll never forget the year
Yeah.
I think you did Peter Pan, and you had almost our whole football team.
Exactly.
Was doing the
Exactly.
what do they call that? The
the flying.
stage crew,
Yes,
the flying. They were
absolutely.
doing the ropes. Zach Tharp
Yep,
did the
that's
ropes
right.
and everything.
That's right.
They had more fun doing that. They felt, and it was great to see it. And you know what they came back with? Man, we didn't know they worked that hard up.
Yeah, absolutely. The
I guess
discipline.
they thought you just came out and sang. Like maybe some of those guys think we just come out and roll the ball out. But they were so impressed and they had so much fun and everything.
And it just tells kids that we want kids to explore every one of their talents because right now in these years, from freshman to senior year, now's the time to taste. Okay? You can make your decisions later on, but taste everything now. High school's that opportunity. You got this opportunity. Play that instrument. Play that sport. Come over and get on the stage. Take that chance that you never have, make that memory. And you know what? If you like it, you continue. If all of a sudden you say, I did it, maybe I better do this. That's okay. That's okay because you tasted, you didn't just ignore the opportunity. That's what we do. And you understand then how that person who's on the stage feels. You understand how that person who's getting ready for, I'll tell you what, our dancers work hard.
They do. I always tell you the story about during summer gym when they would come down here and they would work down here and everything. That's the other thing. You talk about having choices. That I think we've done a good job here is that we created the summer gym program, which allows a lot of the theater people to come down, take summer gym, so they can get involved in different things during the school year. And I think that's where we've shown that we can do. We try to offer them different things and give it a little variety and everything.
And I think what happens is when you get these kids who come over and they cross over into different areas and start experiencing, they realize that if you're going to be successful in anything, dedication and discipline. And Coach, kids always, I get this always on the page, and even the kids now, they know one of the things I say: don't be late, be on time, and be your best, because that simple little discipline, when you go for that job interview, when you're going every day, that will separate you. You may be just as talented as the guy next to you. And there may be 5 people more talented, but I'll tell you what, your work ethic and your discipline, and the kids who graduate, and even the kids up there, they kid about it. Oh, I can't be late. But I'll tell you what, it's something that some of our alum who are now lawyers and doctors and whatever they're doing, they always come back, they go, I'm always on time. And you know what?
Isn't that a good feeling when they come back and tell you?
It's a life lesson. It's something that they've taken from this program and taken from Notre Dame, and they carry it into their everyday, and they're instilling it into their children.
And that's beautiful. I get kids all that come back, and I have a lot of sayings. Strong mind,
strong
body, strong faith. And I'll hear the kids say it or something I've said and everything. You say, you know what? They were listening. They were listening. That 6 o'clock in the morning lift that we do. That discipline that adds about being on time. That door gets locked if you're not here by 6 o'clock. Oh well. Because that's the real world. When you get out in the real world, that's the way it is. They want you there on time and everything. Okay, Lou. There's people out there of thinking about coming to Notre Dame. The whole package, not just the theater department, the music and everything.
Sure.
Why is Notre Dame the best place to come to?
I think because we offer opportunity to kids. We give kids opportunity in a great environment, and we skill them not only in the area that they're being involved, But I think in so many cases, I don't care if it's athletics or if it's arts or if it's academics, we're preparing them for the next level. And we do that to a high degree, and we do it with excellence. And we encourage kids. We want kids to be involved. And I'll tell you, even in my program, I always tell our parents at our first meeting, when you have an opportunity, this is something where you don't always get in the public schools or other places. We encourage our parents, even in the performing arts, to get involved. Get involved. Build that set.
What do they call your group?
Yeah.
Papa?
PAVA, Performing Arts Parents Association. Be involved. Sell those tickets. Sew those costumes. Be a part of that crew or whatever.
Have ownership.
Absolutely. Why? Because I always tell them, and I just said this a couple of weeks ago with the dance meeting. I said, if you're involved, it just gives you one more thing, because you were at that rehearsal, maybe in the back with my wife sewing costume or building with Mr. Chebra. But you know what? It's one more thing at the dinner table that you got in common with your kid. You can talk about, hey, that rehearsal, how did it go today? And you know exactly, and you can connect on that level because now you're involved with what your child is doing. And there ain't nothing better.
There isn't anything better.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've always been impressed with, and you mentioned Dave Sherb and everything, the team you've put together. Yeah. Now you got your boys, you got everything. You've got a great team. Now, what's the first production this year?
Okay, we have a fall production, which is the smaller production. That's Mr. Lobis and Mr. Patton, and they're doing it's a great show. It's a spoof on Cinderella. It's called the Cinderella Complex. The reason why we're doing that is because we're bringing back a big hitter this year. We're bringing back Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, we set attendance records last year. Last time we did that would have been around 2008.
And when will that be?
That'll be first 2 weekends in March. And, of course, we'll do different things. We'll spin it a little different. We're going to bring the flying crew back. We're going to fly some of that.
I'll get you plenty of people.
Oh, yeah. And we just have a lot of things that we're going to do just a little different. Because we did it, but that set attendance records for us last time, and we want to fill that house up a few times in those first couple of weekends of March. So we're going to bring Beauty and the Beast back this year.
Okay, kind of a new auditorium. They put a spin on it last year, fixed everything up. How's it going upstairs with all the improvements?
So far,
I know there's some little kinks here and there.
Yeah. I mean, I built a couple of houses, and you've been involved in that. Every time after you get in, you find there's stuff, and David Chebra and I have been going through, and slowly but surely, we're anything that all the loose ends, we're tying them up, and we're blessed once again with a beautiful facility. And I told Chebra, I said, this renovation is never finished. We're just going to keep making
going.
It better. Keep making it better.
Down here. I mean, 20 years ago,
absolutely.
You wouldn't recognize this place. Yeah. What it is now. Hey, look. One of the best things we have is, I think, and Lou's part of it. And I really believe this. This is a family. Every family does a little bit of part of different things for the house and everything. But what a great place to be. And I'm going to tell you what. Beauty and the Beast, if you're not there, you're missing something big. Let me tell you what. It's going to be a good one. I can feel it already. And anything they do is golden. And remember, hold him to it. He owes me a country song one day.
Right.
Where you hear it. I'm telling you, I believe Ronnie Dunn probably got a great voice, but not as good as this guy. He'll be doing it for me soon. Hey, as always, great day to be Irish, and I hope you have a great day. See you later.